Yes, good morning, students. Good morning once again. So today we are going to take one session on web hosting. Why we have selected this topic? Because most of you are going to create your website, or you are going to, you must be creating a website for this final project. So it's very important that you host your website, okay? Or even for suppose we have created a project on IoT or any other application, but you can create a small website for the publicity of your project. That is why we have selected this topic. Okay, most of you for your mini project or for your final year project you are creating websites. हम लोगों ने भी देखा है ना आप लोगों ने कि हमने SPM या फिर कोई भी सब्जेक्ट में जैसे बीना मैम ने मशीन लर्निंग के सब्जेक्ट पे वर्चुअल लैब्स बनाया. So it's very complicated, but these are static websites. So you need to understand what's the difference between a static and a dynamic website, and how we have to host a static and dynamic website. So I'll be explaining all this, but before starting, you all know these terms very well. So let me see who will answer these terms. What is the World Wide Web? WWW. What is World Wide Web? Can anyone reply? Yes. What is the World Wide Web? Can anyone reply in the chat box? What is World Wide Web? So it will be just a revision of what you might have learned in semester 1, 2, 3 करके हम लोग फटाफट वेब होस्टिंग तक आ जाएंगे. Yes. Anyone? What is World Wide Web? Yes, what it is? So it's the network of all the computers all over the world. Okay, all the computers they are connected. Yes, connection of web pages. All the computers that are connected to each other, so they are able to share their information. They are able to communicate with each other. Then there are various protocols. You must have heard about protocols that are used for sending web pages or sending data on the internet. What are the protocols that we use? One is HTTP. It's the communication protocol of all the computers. Which is the other protocol which is used nowadays? Yes. Instead of HTTP, which other protocol we are using nowadays? Yes, very good, Prathamesh. So it's HTTPS. Why we are using HTTPS? Why we are using HTTPS? Can anyone reply quickly in the chat box?
Secured.
Yes, that's because it is secure. Okay, HTTPS is more secure. HTTP, it used to send the data as plain text, but HTTPS, it will be sending the data in encrypted form. So because the data is sent in encrypted form, that is why it's more secure. Okay, because anyone who cannot, who is there as a middleman attack, or who is just sniffing all the packets, he'll not be able to read the data. Okay, so just for that purpose, HTTPS is better. Okay. Now, how does the World Wide Web work? Yes. What is mean by web page? What is mean by web server? What is mean by web client, web browser? All these terms are very, very common, which you are using day to day. So what's a web page? Can anyone quickly unmute and reply? Students, let's be interactive. बहुत ही simple question है. Yes. Let me see. Quick reply, but reading out from the chat box will be difficult. So one of you should unmute and quickly answer. What's a web page? First question. What is a web page? Another line. Yeah. What is a web page? What's a web page? Any static or dynamic document that you create using HTML, CSS, JavaScript and all. Okay, that's a web page where you write all the contents that you want to display. Yes, HTTP document on the World Wide Web. That's a web page. What is a web server? Yes, what's a web server? What is a web server? Let me see who will unmute and speak in this session. Quickly unmute and tell me what's a web server. What is a web server? Okay, so what's a web server? Where we store all our web pages. So all the combination of web pages that will become a website. And when we create a website, we'll be storing it at a location. That location is our web server. Okay, so computer that run all the websites. Then what's a web client? A client, a computer from which we try to read out the web pages, or we try to access the web pages. So my laptop is a web client because I'm trying to open a website from my computer. Okay, so that becomes my web client. And what's a web browser? Any application that is used to open the web pages, that becomes a web browser. Okay, so popular web browsers, which are they? You are having Google Chrome, Firefox, then Internet Explorer. Okay, which other web browsers are popular apart from these three? Which other web browsers are popular? Can you just put it in the chat box quickly? Which other web browsers are popular? Yes, Opera, very good. Apart from these three, which other web browsers are very popular and used nowadays? One is Opera, Safari. Chrome, yes. Apple Microsoft Safari, Edge. Very good. Edge, Microsoft का है Edge, Firefox. Okay, so many browsers are there which you can use. Of course, each is having some different functionality depending on the functionalities they are being used, and we have to have this uniformity of the this web pages, that if it is open in any browser, there should not be any changes. Okay, so we have to do the cross browser testing to make sure that our browser is same, it appears similar in any browser, because sometimes it happens that some tags may not be working on some browsers. So if such type of conflicting tags are present, we should remove those tags so that the cross-browser testing, it can pass the cross-browser testing. Okay. Now, what's a web server and ISP? Yes, web server, it's a collection of all the web pages. We call it as our website. Okay, when we want to publish it, then we have to keep the website at some place where it is accessible to all. Now, my laptop is not connected to internet, so my website will not be accessible. But if suppose my website is connected, my computer is connected to the entire internet, then it can act as a web server. So generally companies, they have their own web servers. In our college, we have a server room where we have all the web servers. Then if it's our college website, if it's a college ERP system, or you can think of anything like our conference website, everything it's hosted in our college web server. Okay, so what is the requirement of a web server? Yes, what's the requirement of a web server? Web server की क्या-क्या requirements हो सकती है? Can you think? What are the requirements of a web server? Yes, how can means how a particular computer it will become a web server, or what all we have to take care? Yes, can anyone think of the requirements of a web server? Any idea? See, first of all, the web server, it should be connected to the internet. Second is it should be on 24/7. Okay, it should be on 24/7. We should have generators so that the web server will never stop working even if there is electricity failure. So अगर electricity नहीं भी होगा, then also this web server should work, and it should have lot of space. Okay, it should provide lot of space. The storage capacity should be good, and then it should also have security. That means whatever incoming traffic and outgoing traffic, that should be monitored, and then only it should be allowed. So it's very important that it should have the security 24/7. It should be working. It should have large storage capacity, cloud services it should provide. It should provide proper applications which will help to store the data and then to retrieve the data. So everything should be the present in web server. Now, internet service providers, they also act as a web server. It should be connected to a network. Network should be secure, of course. Then what's an ISP? Yes, what's an ISP? ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. So we can take the internet connection from various services, like I have taken from Jio, some may take it from broadband, Airtel. So all these internet they are all your internet service providers. So they provide us the internet service just to browse internet on our laptop or mobile, or to host our websites. Okay, they also provide us to host our websites. So they will provide the public name servers, and the public servers will be provided. We can have the email services, they can provide us the domain name registration. So all these facilities are provided by the internet service provider. Okay, now hosting your own website, is it important to host our own website? Yes, because if we have created a website and it is lying on my laptop, then no one can access it. Like SPM का मैंने अभी virtual lab बनाया, अगर मैंने virtual lab बनाया तो आप लोग उसको कैसे access करोगे? So just to access the virtual lab, it should be hosted on some, it should be actually hosted. So अभी हमने virtual labs को कहाँ पे host किया था? College के website पे host किया था, right? So whenever you click on the link, and the link is provided to you all. So whenever you click on the link, you are connected to the college server, and from the college server, you are able to host the, you are able to check the website, right? So hosting is very important. If we don't host the website, then no one can access it. So what all we need to take care while hosting our website? We have to have server, okay, which is and these are some of the expenses that we have to consider, like the hardware expense. First of all, if you want to install a server and it should be having all the capabilities of hosting the website, then we require a good hardware. Okay, so we will have all the hardware expenses. Then whatever software installation, that has to be authentic licensed software needs to be installed. So we need the software expenses as well, and the labor expense. There should be 3 to 4 people for maintenance of the server room. So if you have got a chance to visit our college server room, anyone of you has visited college server room, whether in a virtual visit or in an actual visit when you were in first year? Have you visited server room? Yes, can I see some hand raisers? If you have visited college server room in your first year during some activity, have you all visited? No? No one has visited. I can't see any hand raise. Okay, so maybe that activity might not have been done for your class, so you might not have visited. But this activity is being conducted by Rajendra Patole sir and Mithila ma'am, that they are conducting the actual visit or virtual visit to the server room. Okay, so all the, you will see the hardware expenses. It is also too high, because one small disk which they are installing on the server, that disk is costing around 4-5 lakhs. Okay, so it's very costly to create an entire server. Then we are having the software expenses, and then we are having the labor expenses. That means there will be some person who will be required all the time to monitor the server, whether it's working properly or not, and time to time, if there is any failure, that will be taken care by those people. So in our college, we have a system administrator who's taking care of all this. Now, using a shared hosting, if suppose we don't want to spend on all this, अभी मैंने बताया ना एक डिस्क का कॉस्ट कितना है, 3 to 4 lakhs का एक डिस्क होता है, तो इट्स टू कॉस्टली. तो अगर हमको उतना नहीं सर्व करना है, then we should go for a shared hosting. Okay, so if we are going for a shared hosting, then we have to check what all things we need to check. What is the connection speed? Okay, what speed it is providing us. If we are hosting our website, then it should be accessible to us. Then what's the power of the hardware, and what's the security and stability of the server that we are using, and then what is the cost. So we have to also check if these facilities are provided, then there will be some expenses based on that. Okay, so things that we need to consider for a shared hosting, that there should be a 24-hour support. The website should be running 24/7. Okay, 24/7. Then there should be daily backups. Whatever data we store on the cloud, daily backups will be taken. Bandwidth should be good. Then email capability should be there. Okay, it should also provide us an email server. And what is the extension of our website? Okay, so if the extension is quite common, then only it will be used by the, it will appear in the Google searches and it will be more famous. So if we have a very specific extension, then it may not come in the Google search. So our website will not become that much famous. Then we should also have the database access for dynamic websites where we are storing our data. So we should have the access to the database where we can create a database and directly the data will be stored on the database. So these things we have to consider with the shared hosting. Okay. Now, what's the monthly traffic? How will you find out what is a monthly traffic of any website? See, a small or medium web page, websites, it will consume 1 GB to 5 GB data transfer per month. So whenever we are taking any web hosting, we have to check that how much data transfer they are providing. So suppose they are saying 3 GB, so 3 GB or 2 GB per month. So it's good for a small website. How we have calculated? See, you have to use this formula, average page size. Yes, you have to use this formula, average page size into expected page views per month. Expected page views per month. So in a month, suppose we are assuming that there will be 50,000 page views on my website, and the page size is how much? It is 30 KB. So we can multiply this and we can get 1.5 GB. Okay, so 1.5 GB if we are getting, so we can assume that if there is a, if the vendor is providing us 2 GB per month, okay, 2 GB per month, so it's quite decent for a small size website. But if we are making a large website, commercial sites, अगर मुझे suppose अपना SPM का virtual lab मैंने बनाया और वो मुझे अगर website पे डालना है, तो 1.5 GB hardly there will be a consumption of 1.5 GB to 2 GB. So if the vendor is providing 2 GB, it's quite okay for me. But for larger commercial sites, often consume more than 100 GB of monthly traffic. So before we sign up with the host service provider, what we have to make sure? We have to make sure that these things are known to us in advance, that what are the restrictions on monthly transfer, whether it's 1 GB, 3 GB, 5 GB, what's the monthly restrictions on the transfer. Then will the website be closed if exceeds the volume? Okay, so if the 1.5 GB it's already used, then will the website close? Okay, or will it be charged extra, or will the user be charged extra, or it will ask to upgrade the plan? Okay, it should be easy to actually upgrade the plan, or initially it will allow the users to visit the website and later on it will increase the charges. Because see, whenever we are opening any website, what we have to do? We have to enter our credit card details. So later on what happens, if we forget to close that website and or web server, then it will automatically keep on charging as per the rules. Means if the time exceeds or if the traffic exceeds, so it will keep on charging. So this may happen, it may ask for a confirmation, then it will charge. So depending on the website or depending on the web server, we have the charges will be decided. Okay, so I hope up till this it's clear to all. Yes. Can I get some reply in the chat box? I hope things are clear to you. अभी तक मैंने जितना बोला है आप लोग को समझा कि नहीं? Yes, I can see reply from Prabhat, Divesh, Mansi, Vishal. So students, have you understood or not up till whatever I said? Have you understood or not? Yes. Aditi, Jagruti, Devashish, Prathamesh, Sagarika, Akash, Pranali, Jagruti, Misda, Tanvi, Sakshat, Monish, Rohit, very good. Vignesh, Preeti, you have replied. Ritesh has replied. Yes. Thank you, students. Thank you. So Actually, some feedback is required from us, required from you all, so that I'll keep going to next slide. Otherwise, unless until we get a feedback, it's very difficult to know whether you have understood or not. Okay, so ये PPT, video recording, everything will provide you later so that you can review it if you want. Okay, now which are the web hosting technologies? Yes, quickly we'll see which are the web hosting technologies. So which are the web hosting technologies? We are having Windows hosting, then we are having Unix hosting, Linux hosting, then CGI. Okay, you all must be heard about JSP, PHP, and ASP. Okay, so who will put the full form of CGI? CGI, what's the full form of CGI? देखते किसको आता है CGI का full form. What's the full form of CGI? Google मत करो, आता है तो बोलो जल्दी. Yes, students, CGI full form. No one knows. Computer generated imagery. बाप रे. Google कर लो. Please Google. Yes, anyone else? Google and tell me quickly. Yes, very good. Now it's correct. It's Common Gateway Interface. Okay, so CGI full form is Common Gateway Interface. ASP तो पता होगा ना, Active Server Pages. PHP, yes, and JSP. I hope everyone knows this full form. Okay, because these are very common in your IT. Who will tell me PHP and JSP? PHP and JSP. Who will tell me? Okay, so search and put it in the chat box and go to next slide. Now, database technologies that we used in web hosting. One is the SQL Server, then we are using Oracle, MySQL. Access can also be used as a database technology, right? So we will see how what's a step-by-step process for web hosting. Yes.
This
So I'll
video
request you all to watch one video.
will identify the four types
Audible है क्या video? Is it audible?
available at GoDaddy. To make your website visible on the web, your files and data
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
physically computer that is connected to the internet. These large power computers are called servers. Website hosts are companies that physically house several web servers in one location, or what is sometimes referred to as a data center. In addition, website hosts provide the software, security, support, and bandwidth that connects your website to the internet. Think of a website hosting company like a shopping center that contains several individual stores. If you want to open a store at the shopping center, you can lease space in it and set up shop. Just like a shopping center, website hosting companies enable you to lease space on their web servers where you can store your website files and make them available for visitors to view on the internet. To accommodate a wide variety of websites and customer needs, there are a variety of hosting solutions. Hosting solutions are broadly categorized based on the amount of server space you need for your website files and the monthly amount of bandwidth your site consumes. Bandwidth refers to the amount of data being transferred or the amount of resource usage your website requires. Consider your shop again. Suppose you sell only handmade bracelets. You have a small, unique product offering, so you don't need nor want to lease the same amount of space as a big department store. Instead, you could lease a smaller store in the shopping center that gives you just enough space for your goods and costs less money. Additionally, because you're a small shop, you don't need a lot of extra technology or staff to help you sell your product like a department store requires. Between you and your mobile payment device, you have plenty of bandwidth to take care of your customers and don't need to buy any extra technology or hire more employees. Make sense? Beyond server space and bandwidth, there are other things to consider when selecting a hosting solution. Your budget, ease of use or complexity of solution, the level of flexibility or customization the solution allows, as well as privacy and security features. GoDaddy offers a variety of hosting solutions. To determine which hosting solution is best for you, please visit godaddy.com and click Hosting.
Okay. So students, you have seen the video on this web hosting. I hope you have understood it, that it's very simple to host a website on GoDaddy. Okay, so y'all can visit GoDaddy, and that's your step number one. Okay, step number one is book your domain. Okay, so you can open godaddy.com. Okay, and you can search for the domain names. 1 second, this kind of disturbance. Okay, so y'all can book your domain. Anyone's mic is mute. Out. Yes, so you all can open GoDaddy and you can check out that any domain name that is available or not. जैसे मुझे अभी SPM virtual labs के लिए बनाना था, तो I just search for SPM virtual lab या फिर मैं my styles लिख के एक वेबसाइट का डोमेन नेम सर्च करती हूँ. ठीक है, so if I write here, I get this type of box. Okay, so if I write my styles, then I click on search. So if the mystyles.co.in, mystyles.org, this kind of site names will be available for me. Okay, so it will tell me what will be the price. अगर मैं mystyles.org लेती हूँ, what's the price? 749 rupees. If I take mystyles.info, then the rupees is price is 219. So in this way, we can mystyles.co.in, it's 99 rupees. So accordingly, I can choose the domain name. Okay, and I can purchase the domain name. See, these are some of the plans that we can select from. Okay, in the next screen, you will get this type of plans, whether you want to start with 99, 199, 299, 499. In this way, you can select the plan. Then there are various other options, like you can go for domain registration. Okay, so you can click on domain registrations and then you can click on the name server. Okay, so अगर name server लेते हो तो आप specify कर सकते हो कि which name server you want. So by default the name servers are present. You can add more name servers. So what's a name server? Can anyone reply? What is mean by name server? Yes, can anyone reply? What is mean by name server? Please see your line in the chat box. Yes, name server. What's the use of a name server? See, if we are writing google.com, then it should be converted into an IP address. So that name to IP address conversion, it is done by the name server, and we can add more name servers so that our website will get visibility. Okay, so to give more visibility to our website, we can add more name servers. Okay, then there are other facilities. We can click on to the C panel. There we are having file manager, disk usage, FTP connections. Okay, any backup required, image, web disk, then all this file structure and all this can be created. Okay, अगर हम लोग को नीचे देखो databases के भी link है, तो यहाँ पे क्या, अगर मैं फाइल मैनेजर पे क्लिक करती हूँ, ठीक है, तो if I click on file manager, what I have to do, entire website which I have created, I have to just copy paste it over here, right? So once I copy paste my entire website over here, then this will become now public. So when this will become public, then from anywhere one URL will be provided to me. I have to just type that URL on the browser and my website will be available for browsing. Okay, then if I'm having a backend database, so which kind of database I'm having? PHP, MyAdmin, MySQL database. So I have to take that database and I have to वो database पे click करके then you have to add all these options. So automatically your database will become active. Okay, then domain names, कौन सा domain आपको चाहिए, that domain names you can edit. Okay, so these are some of the options that we are using. the database select करते हो तो server connection, then which language, कौन सा theme use करना है, font size क्या रहेगा, that all you can select. Okay, now email account, of course, if I want that email facility also is required, so then we can create a email account. So अभी देखो VSIT में email facility है, we are using vsit.edu.in, that's the server. उसके मतलब वो हमारे वेबसाइट का नेम हो गया, edu.in ये हमारा डोमेन हो गया. इसमें हम लोग क्या करते हैं, ईमेल एड्रेसेस भी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. तो एवरी नेम डॉट surname @vsit.edu.in. Okay, so this is an email facility. That facility can also be provided. Then we are having the security and software needed. So which kind of security we provide, we can select it one by one from here. So this is more detail. If suppose we require a high quality website, then we can go for all these options that we want SSH or not. Then we can go for this other options. But if it's our simple website, then we'll just not use all these options right now. Okay, then add other software as per the requirement. So like you have seen in the video that if your store is very small, then you will not require a very big all the facilities. But if it's a very big website that you want to host, then you will be taking up all the facilities, terminal, indexes, जो भी facilities आपको चाहिए, you can select it. Okay, so there are two types of websites, static and dynamic. So hosting static website is more easier compared to dynamic websites, because static में क्या आपको सिर्फ वो आपका जो भी वेबसाइट है वो सिर्फ आपको कॉपी पेस्ट करना है and it will start working. Okay, but dynamic में क्या है, आपको पूरा वेबसाइट भी कॉपी करना है, then you have to copy all the database files in the database part. Okay, database को जो टैब था ना, वहां पे आपको पूरा database create करना है and you have to create a connection, then it will start working. So we'll watch a video on hosting static websites.
So, you want to host a website for free. In this video, I'll show you the best way to host a static website for free and save hundreds of dollars in web hosting per year. There are two types of websites, static and dynamic. Static websites are simply made of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and media files. Dynamic websites use databases, for example, WordPress sites, blogs, or e-commerce shops. If you want to host a dynamic website for free, we have another tutorial for you. Check the videos above. In this video, we will be focusing on hosting static websites only. There are so many ways you can host a website for free. Some ways are better than others. In this video, I will tell you what are the best options and which ones give you the most value and features. First, you want a solution that lets you use your custom domain name, have no ads or credits, have decent speed, decent storage and bandwidth, and it's absolutely free forever. The best options that meet this criteria are Google Drive, Firebase, GitHub, and Netlify. Google Drive is an interesting solution, but it's not the best option on this list. If you're interested, here's a video tutorial. The next best option is Firebase. This is a very professional and reliable solution, but it has some limitations and it's not the easiest to set up. Next, we have GitHub, which offers decent features. GitHub is a very popular and reliable solution. Finally, Netlify. If you want the best option, here is where you get the most value and the best features. Netlify is our favorite solution. Here's why. Netlify is super easy to use. It offers 100 gigabytes of storage, advanced options to enhance website speed, CDN, custom domain names, easy integration with Google Analytics, and free SSL certificate with one click. Hosting a website on Netlify is super easy. First, go to netlify.com and create an account. Go to Sites, drop your website folder in this area. Next, click Set up Custom Domain and type in your domain name. Go to Options and click Set up Netlify DNS. Click Continue.
These are your name servers. You have to copy these values and paste them on your domain registrar. Go to the website where you bought your domain name. In my case, it's namecheap.com. Find your domain DNS settings. Here, select Custom DNS and insert the 4 name servers in this area. Save changes, go back to Netlify and click Done. It's as simple as that. Now just wait a few hours for the DNS propagation to complete. Open your browser and type in your domain name. You should see your website online. This symbol next to your domain name indicates that your website is secure. Netlify automatically installs your free SSL certificate. And there you go. This is how you host a website for free. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more productivity tips. And always remember to work smart, not hard.
Okay, so I hope how to create a static website and host. I hope it's clear to all. Netlify you can use, okay, and you can purchase a domain name from GoDaddy. It's only 99 rupees, and then you can paste the name servers over there. Then it will work. Okay, then what's the difference between static and dynamic websites? What's the difference? Can anyone tell me what is dynamic website? Yes, what's a dynamic website? What's a dynamic website, or how dynamic website is different from a static website? Yes, responsive, very good. Collection of web pages, and it's a responsive website. That it means it will respond to the user query. Okay, so that's a dynamic website. There can be a database at the back end. So we'll see how to host a dynamic website. Yes, we'll watch a video on this.
Hey there, this is Kamal, and in this video, we're gonna see how to host a dynamic website for free. So let's get this started. Before going further, let me clarify a few things for you. When it comes to websites, we have 2 types of websites. The first one is a static website, the second one is a dynamic website. So what is a static website? A website which is created using the front-end part, leaving the back-end, is known as a static website. So in a static website, we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript without any of the database integration. When it comes to a dynamic website, we use the database as well. So we use languages like PHP for scripting and MySQL for the database. And in this video, we're going to concentrate on the dynamic part. But if you want to see how to host a static website on GitHub for free forever, then check out the link in the description below. Moving on, let's now actually see how to do it. Open your favorite browser and type in Infinity Free. Open the first link. So this website provides us with free unlimited web hosting. There are paid versions as well, but the options that they have are different and we don't require that. The free version is more than enough for us. So sign up for an account here. Once you're done registering, they're going to send a verification email to your Gmail account. So verify that. Once the verification is done, you'll be redirected to this page. And as you can see here, we have an option to create an account. And if you look at the bottom, you have the option for number of active accounts. And as you can see, the number is 3. That means you can run 3 different domains simultaneously. So for now, let's click on create account. So this is the page where you have to actually select if you want to use a subdomain or you want to use a custom domain. So if you already have a custom domain name with you, you can use that by using the name servers that they have provided, or you can use a subdomain which is actually free. So you're going to get your domain name .apz.com or rf.gd. You can use any of these. Okay. For now, let's go to subdomain. So I'm going to name mine as Packet Code Official. So then click on I'm not a robot. So now your account has been created. So click on view client area. Okay, so these are the details which are going to be very useful for you. Right now, as you can see, our account is being set up. So refresh the page after a few minutes. So it's going to take usually around 1 to 2 minutes. So after it's done, you can refresh the page and this message will disappear. On the right hand side, we have the FTP details. So if you want to establish an FTP connection to this website and transfer your files through that connection, then you can use these. You have the username, password, and hostname. Meanwhile, let's go to the control panel. You have to click on I approve. Once that is done, it's going to open the cPanel for this website. So here you have the databases and PHPMyAdmin. So for now, let's set up the database. let's create a database here. Click on create database. All right, so now these are the details that you have to input in your database script. Okay, so let me open a dummy project to showcase how it's done. All right, so I have my project open here. So this is my project, and in that I have a database file. So here I'm going to provide the host name, the username, password, and the database name. So here you have the username, right? Just copy this and paste it here. And the password for this is going to be your vPanel password. So this is the password that we have here. So just copy this and place that here. As for the database name, it's going to be this. So let's copy that and place that here. For the host name, it's going to be this. Copy that and place it here. So now let's upload these files to the server, and you can do that using the FTP connection that I mentioned earlier, or you can do it manually. So let's do the manual method. Okay, so now let's refresh the page. So it's been verified. So now you have the option to click on File Manager. So click on File Manager, then go to HTDocs. Let's remove these two files. These are dummy files. Now let's drag and drop all the files for the website that we had created. If you're having any trouble while uploading the files, you can manually do that from here, and you can upload a file or a folder or a zip. Okay, so now that the files have been uploaded, we are done with the setup. And as you can see here, it's mentioned that it's going to take around 72 hours for a new domain name to start working everywhere. It does not happen every time, but sometimes it does take time. So just open your website in a new tab and check once in a while if it's uploaded or not. If not, then you have to wait for some more time, but at the end it will be done uploading and the website will be live. Okay, and this is your domain name. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have any queries, please post them in the comment section down below.
So students, this particular method I had also tried. It's very, very simple. You all can host a website using this Infinity. Okay, so please try out. Now I'd almost come to the end of my presentation on web hosting. Yes, I hope you find this session informative. I had created one puzzle game for you all. I'll post the link in the chat box. Student, please appear for this. You'll enjoy. SPM Virtual Labs we have created, that was actually a static website. So I tried this method to host my website and I was able to actually do it. If you want the PPT for today's session, just let me know. I'll post it here so that later on you can open that PPT and perform all the steps one by one. Yes. Now, keep the quiz. Yeah, this is the summary of what we have discussed today. Thank you, students. Thank you for attending today's lecture. Now, there's one more activity that we have kept for you all. See, we'll be giving you one link of free course on web hosting. I request you all to do that particular course. Amrita ma'am, please, you can forward the link in the chat box and the feedback link also. In this session only, you're going to start that course. Okay, and then once you complete it, that course is on Azure cloud application. So all the this is around 2.5 hours course. You have to watch all the videos and then you can open an account in Azure using the Microsoft ID. Okay, आप लोग के सबके पास कॉलेज का Microsoft ID है ना, तो उससे आप ओपन कर सकते हो and you can actually use it. So it's free of cost on Microsoft ID. You can perform all the steps that are shown in the video one by one, and then you have to attempt one quiz. So quiz mein you have to get 60% marks. Once you get 60% marks, then only you will get the certificate. Okay. So Amrita ma'am, can you post the link of feedback as well as the certification? The students will perform that. We have identified this course. So this course we have identified for you, and this course you all have to complete. Okay, उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है, ये जो सर्टिफिकेट है ना वो आपको ब्लैक बुक में अटैच करना है. Okay.
A link for enrolling into workshop has been posted to chat box.
Yes, students, all of you, please click on it and open it. How many of you have started? Just let me know from the chat box. Do you want the PPT of today's session? If yes, then let me know in the chat box so that I'll post it here. Yes, ma'am, मुझे वो नहीं समझा. PPT. If you want PPT, then I'll post it here. So, right. Clearly, if you have started the course, then please let me know that you started the course.
Ma'am, page not found.
एक minute. मुझे भी वही आ रहा है, पेज नॉट फाउंड. एक मिनट. Click on this, check the rest. I think अभी आ रहा है, but ये ना मोबाइल से आपको नहीं होगा. You'll be able to attend it on your laptop. Okay, so laptop या desktop से आप attend कर सकते हो. Just for the time being you enroll and later on you attend. But ये वाला जो certificate है ये सबको complete करना है compulsory. Okay, because it's a very good certification that is there in Great Learning. And then once you complete, you get the certificate. Because I had also started that course yesterday, but I'm not able to complete it. कोई is pending अभी भी. कोई कंप्लीट करूंगी तो आई विल गेट द सर्टिफिकेट. हम लोगों ने ढूंढ के निकाला जो कोर्स सर्टिफिकेट फ्री एंड फ्री भी है और फॉर द टाइम भी. हाँ, राइट. यस, यू हैव टू क्रिएट एन अकाउंट. अपना गूगल का लॉगिन यूज करो या फिर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का PSIT वाला लॉगिन यूज करो. ठीक है. So further, Amraja ma'am will guide you towards certification. Ma'am, please post the feedback link as well. So students will be able to give the feedback. So students, please give your feedback for today's session, and thank you so much. You attended both the session. I'm very happy. I know that every one of you will complete this certification because हम लोगों ने बहुत ढूंढ के एक certification ढूंढ के निकाला, which is there on Azure Cloud, and it is free. Okay, and its certification is very useful. Contents are also good. So I've done it on my own. That's why I'm telling you. Please make sure that you complete this. You post this certificate on your LinkedIn profile as well, and you put it in the black book also.
Listen guys, you better log in with your Google account. Even it was giving me some problem when I was trying to log in with email ID. So do it from Google account. It won't take much time. Okay, just sign it with Google account. It will, if in your device you're already signed with your Google account, it will take you there. All you need to do is just write your full name and all. वो सब information देना है. That's it.
Amrita ma'am, you will further guide them, na? So.
And when you log in with your Google account now, it will even ask you for your phone number. On your phone, you will get an OTP. Okay, you have to verify your phone number. You will get an OTP, verify your phone number, and then sign. Yes, is it happening now?
Yes, ma'am.
Students, please fill the feedback form and give a reply in the chat box that you have filled it. Ma'am will check whether you have filled the feedback form or not.
Ma'am,
So both the things you have to do. Yes, ma'am. मैम आपके थोड़ा सा वॉइस में डिस्टरबेंस है, आप एक बार वो वापस से प्लग इन करोगे क्या?
I'm going to stop the recording. ऐसा बोल रही हूँ.
Yes, yes, sure, sure.